What is up, everybody? This is Atticus theDeathMetaller, and oh boy, we got ourselves quite the topic to talk about. This non-issue has been circling around since yesterday.
Oh? What is that issue exactly?
It has been getting quite such hype, and just the reasons for it is just absolutely retarded and just borderline autistic.
Ableist insult right off the bat. Strike one.
And yes, Black Lives Matter has once again risen from the ashes. Nope, Black Lives Matter is not riding in the metropolitan areas in America. Nope, they're not doing that. They're now taking over the internet and getting very worked up over a ad.
You're upset about stuff people are saying on the internet? Isn't that what you people accuse the SJWs of doing constantly?
A Pepsi ad, because it is not racially inclusive enough for their message to get across.
Did not do the research. Strike two.
Because Kendall Jenner was in it. I found this article on Blue Lives Matter. Oh yes, I know. Blue Lives Matter. Oh my god, Atticus is promoting police brutality. Before you jump the gun at me, let me read this article and get more onto the subject. Now let me do that now, please.
Cited Blue Lives Matter as a reliable source. Strike three, you're out. Well hey, I gave you a fair shake at being reasonable, and you blew your chance at credibility this early? Jesus Christ, if it's this much of an arduous task to get through your video already, I'm going to be enervated, and possibly even languid, by the conclusion of this video. The issue, had you done the most rudimentary Google search, is not that the ad wasn't inclusive enough, but the idea that a magic Pepsi can would solve all racial tensions. You're not very good at the skeptic thing, are you?
Pepsi has canceled their ad campaign, which shows Kendall Jenner handing a Pepsi to a police officer. Pepsi has now pulled all videos of the campaign along with apologizing to Black Lives Matter. The Pepsi ad should have been viewed as a simple, non-offensive ad.
And that was part of the problem. It was trying so hard to be inoffensive with its let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya feel, which made it feel like it was just a corporate bandwagon with the intent of doing nothing more than capitalizing on racial injustice in order to sell their product. The implication that a Pepsi can make everything better was exactly what the problem was.
That's not how Black Lives Matter saw things, though. Black Lives Matter accused Pepsi and Kendall Jenner of trying to fix racism with their carbonated beverages. The liberal media jumped all over the outrage, and it seems that everybody jumped on board with the narrative that it was somehow pro-police ad.
You just debunked your own opening statements. Wow. Usually, it takes multiple videos for someone to pwn themselves with contradictions. But here, it's in the same video.
Maybe it's because people saw the ad with the preconceived notion that it was a pro-police ad, or maybe we're just dealing with millions of liars or fools. The protest with smiling people marching and carrying peace signs is clearly not a Black Lives Matter march, but just like every other demonstration, Black Lives Matter is taking credit for it.
It was clearly meant to imply Black Lives Matter, as that's the most well-known modern civil rights activism organization for African Americans. After all, you skeptics use BLM as a shorthand for any instance in which people of color behave in a way that does not meet your rigid parameters for approval, those parameters being outside of the realm of meaningful activism. The other main group, Concerned Student 1950, has not been as active as they were at one time.
People are upset that Pepsi is showing support for an occupying force during a Black Lives Matter march, and they have deemed the ad to be a Blue Lives Matter ad. Either way, Pepsi caved to the pressure and issued an apology. Pepsi stated, Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. Clearly, we missed the mark and we apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue. We are removing the content and halting any further rollouts. We also apologize for putting Kendall Jenner in this position, Pepsi said in the statement.
Blue Lives Matter is proving once again it's fake news. Actual fake news. Not fake news in the sense that the Orange Buffoon uses it as a synonym for Lugenpress. Blue Lives Matter is of course going to play the victim. Once again, the crux of the complaint is that a Pepsi can solve racism through magic. Next thing you know, Skittles will be pretending that their product solves homophobia. Are you and other skeptics this obtuse out of an ignorance born of laziness and an unwillingness to do research? Or are you being the usual disingenuous piles of elephant shit that you usually are? Or, as I suspect the answer to be, is it both?
And just to make it look like that I'm not even biased in any way, shape, or form, I watched this ad myself. I watched this ad, and if you don't fucking believe me, here is my reaction right here.
Why would we be skeptical that you watched a Pepsi commercial? But then again, your pitiful lack of research actually does give us a reason to doubt that, now that I think about it.
Alright. That's it? That's what they're getting offended by? Because this is SJWism written all over. But then again, it's Black Lives Matter activists getting absolutely butthurt over the most trivialized bullshit ever. Like, good God. And I just gotta fucking say this. Why the fuck are you getting upset over this?
You had enough time to film the video, but not do 5 minutes of research first? Congrats. You really are a rational skeptic.
This was clearly a fucking total social justice movement of, like, you know, you have trans people, you have Muslims, you have like other people of color. And by the way, I just want to get this out of the way. Using the term people of color, men of color, women of color is an absolutely fucking autistic term. I just fucking hate the term. It makes you look absolutely fucking retarded in a sense.
And I hate it when you and other skeptics have nothing better to use than ableist slurs.
But getting way off topic. Like, this is the second time that I have made this video. The first time I recorded this video, I was completely just outraged and just completely pissed off on how fucking retarded people have become nowadays.
Jesus fucking Christ. You filmed the damn video twice, but you still couldn't be bothered to find out the issue with the commercial is the commercialization of a serious issue, implying that a can of Pepsi can magically solve racism? Please, do some research next time before you film a goddamn video. But then again, you couldn't pander to the racist frogs if you did that. I'd go into further details about how poor Atticus theDeathMetaller's research is, but I think my friend Lachlan of Burn Coalition did a much better job at doing so. You can find the link to his video in the description below. Check it out, it's awesome.
This all reminds me of when Justin Timberlake was getting so much backlash from a lot of these Black Lives Matter motherfuckers for culturally appropriating, like, black culture when he agreed with Jesse Williams' speech at the BET Awards. And Sean Kang, Talcum X himself, went on to say, oh, he should have had a little bit of this come after him, when in fact, you were white all fucking along, Mr. Kang. Like, just shut the fuck up. But the one thing that really grinds my gears, what really fucking just pisses me the fuck off to so many levels, is that there are people that I know that are actually sharing the same outrage as Black Lives Matter is on Twitter and like any other social media site, where I mean, like, they're just showing the same outrage when in fact this was not in any way, shape, or form promoting racism. But no,
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
It's gotta be Kendall Jenner because she's privileged. And to all the people that I know that are sharing this type of stuff and getting outraged over this ad, you know who you people are. I'm a respectful person, I respect you people, but the fucking fact that you are just doing this shit and getting outraged over a fucking ad? I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed on your logic of thinking over this bullshit. Also, not to mention Simone Sanders, yes, the former press secretary of Bernie Sanders, went around saying, oh, this was totally bad on Pepsi's case because it should have been a black woman or a brown woman because, you know, and the policemen are like supposed to be in riot gear because they hate all blackies and brownies and stuff and beat the shit out of them. And, you know, it should have been a black or a brown woman doing this ad because they go through so much shit on these protests.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Black Lives Matter for the past 3.5 years doing their bullshit. It's no stranger that they have been promoting this type of behavior, especially with last year with the Dallas shooting, with people like Ghazi Kotso promoting African resistance and just like, you know, black power and all this stuff, and Sensei Aneurysm saying yes, all motherfucking white people, and all this rioting and all this shit. It's no stranger that Black Lives Matter is not really going to go anytime, anywhere soon.
You do realize that most of BLM is nothing like Ghazi Kotso, right? Serenity, that's S.A.'s real name, despite being friends with Ghazi for some reason, does not share his extreme views on a lot of things. Her content is mostly intersectional feminist based, something I'm sure you hate. Look into the reasons why the riots took place. Despite what racist white people think, it's not black people deciding they want a new pair of Nikes for free. It's because racism, espoused by ignoramuses who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, such as idiots who make poorly researched YouTube videos, contributing in some way to oppression where it finally boils over. Throw a bunch of rocks at a hornet's nest, and eventually they will come after you. But I will reiterate, it is bullshit to lump everyone you disagree with together. Imagine if I lumped you in with Rage After Storm. You may be an ignorant dipshit, but I don't think you've overdosed on red pills like she has. And I'm sure if you saw her content, you wouldn't be a fan.
I have nothing else to say. I honestly have nothing else to say. But yes, that is my whole 2 cents on the whole Pepsi thing. Like, it's seriously this whole boycotting of these things. Like, I can understand for boycotting some shit for legit reasons, but when you're boycotting stuff like Dear White People...
What the fuck? I just gave you credit for being better than this racist pile of human garbage, and you're friends with her? Why? Seriously, why is it that all of you skeptics are friends with each other? Is it because SJWs and Tumblr scare you so bad that you need to align with literal fascists who use the exact same tactics you're always whining about? She's friends with Tara McFucking Carthy, and they share similar views. I know this came out before she showed her hand at the full extent of her racism, but she was already making white nationalist propaganda at the time. And oh, what's this? You liked her white nationalist propaganda video? The one which fucking cites the Daily Stormer? You've lost any right to cry about racism, seeing as how you like the kind of shit by someone who lumps the alt-right and most of the right in with Tumblr.
And all this other fucking really stupid bullshit going around. It makes you look like an absolute fucking retard. It makes you absolutely fucking retarded. Whether you are anti-SJWs or SJWs boycotting shit, it makes you fucking retarded. That's all I gotta say.
Try telling that to people boycotting Ben & Jerry's over supporting BLM, or the people who boycott any company Trump doesn't like, or who, a decade ago, boycotted Walmart for saying Happy Holidays. But of course you won't. You'll support anyone who agrees with you about feminism and social justice, just like every rational skeptic out there. Fuck, this video was annoying, and I'm glad we can finally flush this stinker down the toilet. Unfortunately, we've got another stinkier pile of shit by Atticus theDeathMetaller's friend to contend with.
Oh, scheisse.
We'll deal with that video next time.